హాయ్ హలో నమస్తే వనకం ఆదాబ్ వెల్కమ్ యూ ఆల్ టు వేదాంతు తెలుగు జేఈ ఛానల్. మీ అందరూ కూడా మన తెలుగు జేఈ ఛానల్ కి స్వాగతం సుస్వాగతం. నేను మీ కిరణ్ సార్. ఎలా ఉన్నారు? అందరూ బాగున్నారా? నేను మాత్రం చాలా బాగున్నాను. మీరందరూ కూడా చాలా బాగుండాలని చెప్పి మనస్ఫూర్తిగా కోరుకుంటున్నాను. సో ఏంది ఒకేసారి ఇక్కడ త్రీ అంటే కిరణ్ సారే కాకుండా కిరణ్ సార్ పెద్ద స్క్రీన్ మీద లేకుండా ఇది చిన్న స్క్రీన్ మీద కనబడుతున్నారని చెప్పి అందరూ ఆశ్చర్యంగా చూస్తున్నారా? సో ఇక్కడ మన అడ్వాన్స్ లెవెల్ ఐఐటిలో చదువుకొని ఐఐటిని సాధించడానికి ఎన్నో కష్టాలు పడి చివరికి ఒక ఐఐటిని సాధించి సో దాని ద్వారాగా నాలెడ్జ్ని సంపాదించి తర్వాత పెద్ద పెద్ద ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్స్ లో వర్క్ చేసి పెద్ద పెద్ద కంపెనీస్ లో కూడా ఎంఎన్సీస్ లో కూడా వదిలేసుకొని జాబులు వదిలేసుకొని సో వేదాంత్ని స్థాపించిన కో ఫౌండర్ మన ఏపీ సార్ మనతో పాటు ఉన్నారు ఈరోజు. సో హాయ్ ఏపీ సార్. సో థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ ఫర్ కమింగ్ హియర్.
Hi Bacho, and how is the Josh?
Students are very happy, sir. Right. And మన అడ్వాన్స్ ఏకలవ్య తెలుసు కదా మీ అందరికి. సో వేదాంతులో దాదాపుగా మంచి మంచి ర్యాంక్స్ వస్తున్నాయని అంటే దానికి మెయిన్ రీజన్ ఏమంటే మన ఏపీ సార్ అండ్ వికాస్ సార్. సో వికాస్ సార్ ఫిజిక్స్ టీచ్ చేస్తారు. సో అద్భుతమైన ఒక టీచర్ అన్నమాట. సో ఫిజిక్స్ లో అడ్వాన్స్ లెవెల్ వరకు ఎట్లా చెప్పాలనేది, ఎలా ప్రిపేర్ అవ్వాలనేది, అట్లాంటి ట్రిక్స్ కానీ దానికి సంబంధించిన పూర్తి నాలెడ్జ్ వికాస్ సార్కి ఉంది. సో సార్ ఈ రోజు మనతోటి తన నాలెడ్జ్ ని షేర్ చేసుకోవడానికి అయితే ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసారు. సో పూర్తి స్థాయిలో మీకు ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నా కానీ మీ డౌట్స్ ని నా ద్వారాగా నేను అడుగుతాను. సో అట్లానే మనం అసలు ఒక జేఈ ప్రిపరేషన్ లో ఎలా ఏస్ చేయాలి, సో జేఈ ప్రిపరేషన్ తర్వాత అడ్వాన్స్ కి ఎట్లా ప్రిపేర్ అవ్వాలి, ఇవన్నీ విషయాల గురించి కూడా మనం ఒక బెస్ట్ స్ట్రాటజీ, ఒక జేఈ అడ్వాన్స్ కొట్టేసి ఐఐటికి వెళ్ళాలంటే ఎలాంటి స్ట్రాటజీతో వెళ్ళాలి. ఎందుకంటే ఇక్కడ ఉన్న మీ ముగ్గురం కూడాను ఐఐటియన్సే. సో కాబట్టి మీకు ఎలాంటి డౌట్స్ ఉన్నా కానీ ఏ క్లాస్ గా మీరు అడగవచ్చు. సో మీకున్న డౌట్స్ అన్ని కూడా ఇక్కడ క్లారిఫై చేసుకోవచ్చు. రైట్ గైస్, మీకున్న డౌట్స్ ఏమైనా ఉంటే అడిగేసేయండి. ఎస్ సార్, బిహాఫ్ ఆఫ్ ద స్టూడెంట్స్ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు ఆస్క్ సమ్ క్వశ్చన్స్. వై? బికాస్ అవర్ స్టూడెంట్స్, దేర్ ఆర్ some students who are only preparing for JEE mains, some students are there who are only they are preparing for MSET exam, and most of the students are there who are preparing for advance also. So there are so many different doubts are there among the students that today I am going to ask you. Why? Because you are in a best position Ekalavya, where what we feel that Vedantu is nothing but Ekalavya. Like whenever we talk about Vedantu, then we'll see, first of all, we'll show Ekalavya. Why? Because the best teachers are there in Ekalavya. So the strategies, what are the strategies the students should follow? Whoever is preparing for JEE mains and he is also preparing for advance. So for such students, there are so many doubts. One by one, let me ask you, and let me know from your side also that how you prepared for JEE for advance, and you are from IIT. So those experiences also you can share with us, sir. So let me ask you some questions like those lot of the students asked me. Those questions I am going to ask you, sir. Now, first question, sir. So the student, actually so many students are there who are taking coaching from online and offline also. There are so many students. So at this time, should they stop their coaching there and should they prepare for only advance, or along with their preparation they should go with advanced coaching? So what the suggestion you can use?
Yes, so I think it's a good question, and Vikas sir is the right person to answer. And for the kids who don't know Vikas sir is Zonacharya of this program. So typically we have named this program as Eklavya so that any student, if he or she follows the guideline also, because this program, Eklavya program, is something which has already produced lot of top ranks, as good as rank 11 in IIT Advance, 21 in IIT Advance, 28 in IIT Advance. And this program has already it started in 2018, and it is almost 6 years old program. And now it has actually improved leaps and bounds under Vikas sir's guidance. So Vikas sir, I think Kiran sir is asking that this is the time when students actually focus on JEE mains, lot of students, and they are going to coaching, JEE main or JEE advance. So should they actually leave and start this program, or should they continue that, close that, and then start this program, or how should they differentiate? So it's a good question, I think.
Yeah, so thank you, Kiran sir, and thank you, Anand sir, for that introduction. So, hi, students. I'm really, really glad to be here. And I'll straight away come to the point like the question that if you are currently in your 12th grade and you have been preparing for IIT JEE examination, whether it is JEE Main or JEE Advanced, or whether you did not have clarity that whether I am preparing for JEE Main or Advanced, you have been just following the instructions given by your teacher. All right. So, I'm pretty sure that you are aware that JEE Mains, JEE Advanced, the exams are of different nature and they require different kind of preparation. And of course, the rewards that you get, they are also different. If you crack JEE Main with a good rank, you get a good NIT. If you crack JEE Advanced, you get IIT. All right. Now coming to the question that a student right now, where like how the student should decide to where to focus on JEE Main or whether to focus on JEE Advanced. So guys, any student, let me first burst this myth that JEE Advanced is the cup of tea of a selected few. It is not the case, guys. That is definitely not the case. JEE Advanced can be cracked by any person with an average IQ level and with a will to work hard and to actually beat the crowd. You have to stand out from the crowd, and for that you have to actually put in a lot of effort. So if these two things are with you, like if you have an average IQ, if you have better IQ than average IQ, then that's a cherry on the cake. Like that's a good thing. But even if you are an average individual who is ready to work hard, then JEE Advanced is definitely your cup of tea. Also, if you have been attending classes, you must have started the preparation since grade 11th. So if you have been attending classes, you have been making your notes, and you have been attempting, I'm just saying attempting, whether you are able to solve that or not is a secondary thing. But if you have been attempting the homework given to you from your institute, I'm pretty sure that wherever a chapter is taught to you, corresponding to that chapter, some homework must have been given to you. Let's call that as the first material to solve. Then let's call it the first material. So if you have attempted your first material, all right, till now, if you have done that, and if your syllabus is slated to finish by, let's say, October month, all right, then you are in a very good position to actually target the JEE Advanced exam right now. And you heard me right, guys. If you want to target the JEE Advanced examination, then the preparation of that examination begins right now. You cannot really delay the examination. Most of the students are under the impression that we will first manage our JEE Mains, and then once we are very sure of our JEE Mains, then we will shift our attention to JEE Advanced. But usually that doesn't happen, guys. Usually once you are, you will keep on devoting time to JEE Mains. That will happen in the end of January. And right after you are free from JEE Mains, you will shift your focus to your board examination. And by the time your board examinations are done, you will find that the time left is too little to do anything specific to JEE Advanced examination, which basically means that we need to make these months count. We have to ensure that October, November, December, they contribute in our preparation for JEE Advanced examination. So coming back to your question, Kiran sir, who should prepare for JEE Advanced at this point of time, or who should actually aim for that examination? So any student who has been regular in their studies since grade 11th, they have attempted the classes, they have attempted the first material that was given to them, all right, they should actually target JEE Advanced examination. If the student has even a decent level of IQ, any average IQ, I'm happy to work with these students. Any such student when joins an 𝐸 program, they see a great transformation, not only academically, but also in their personalities. They are totally transformed, and they be on the track. They get on the track to become an IITian. So that would be my answer to your question, sir.
Right, sir. Some students are asking that, sir, we are very average students. So we are preparing for MSET, and since Kiran sir is teaching in YouTube and Vedantu is supporting us, so that's why we are aiming for mains also. So those students are also having doubts, sir. Can we prepare for advanced? That what is that actually difference between mains and advanced? That is the major doubt.
So I will take this question. See, first of all, we don't discourage any student from not preparing for any exam. So they should prepare. But there is a big difference between JEE Main and JEE Advanced. JEE Main is something which you also know because you have guided so many students, and you are also guiding on YouTube and a lot of places in prime classes. So JEE Main is something which is very, it requires a lot of coverage. So first thing in JEE Main is it requires almost every chapter to be covered, because the depth is not required. It is formula based exam, and it is very predictable exam, JEE Main, in which the questions and pattern they repeat. So if the student for the last if they solve questions of 21, 22, 23 and 24, it is likely that most of the questions, almost 70-80% will, the concepts will repeat in 25 also. So it is a very repetitive exam, and students should cover more and not go into depth, but they should actually accept maths. Maths is pretty tough everywhere. So, but physics and chemistry is relatively much easier. It's very predictable, and therefore JEE Main is that exam where you require a lot of practice, lot of hard work. In JEE Advanced, you don't need to cover each and every topic in detail, because JEE Advanced is something, if you cover only 30% or 40% of the topic in detail, there is a likely chance that you might get one seat in IIT. The first thing that a student should ask themselves, whether they want an IIT seat or they want a good branch in any other college like NIT, BITS, MSAT top colleges, right? So they should ask themselves that what is their preference, branch or IIT degree. For example, as when I was a student, Kiran Sir, when I was a student, I was okay student. But my aim was to get into IIT. I just wanted one seat in IIT tag. And therefore, for me, even I did not prepare for DC. At my time, Delhi College of Engineering, which is now DTU, was separate exam. There were a lot of other exams, but I was only focused on this IIT exam. So any student who has that dream of getting into IIT, they should focus on that. And IIT requires depth. Sorry. So what I was saying is that any student, and we have in the past, students who have got 45,000 rank, 80,000 rank, they have got IIT seat. So no one should be discouraged, but they can pick up after JEE Main also.
Yes. Sir is saying ఏమంటున్నారంటే సారు అప్పుడు చదువుకున్నప్పుడు కూడాను సార్ అట యావరేజ్ స్టూడెంట్ గానే ఉంటూనే తనకి వేరే కాంపిటేటివ్ ఎగ్జామ్ లో తక్కువ ర్యాంక్స్ వచ్చినా గానీ ఐఐటికే నా ధ్యేయం అని చెప్పి ఐఐటి కోసం కూర్చొని ప్రిపేర్ అయినా గానీ ఐఐటిలో మంచి ర్యాంక్ సాధించగలిగారు. సో ఎవరైతే సార్ నేను యావరేజ్ స్టూడెంట్ గా ఉన్నాను అని అనుకున్న స్టూడెంట్ కూడాను మీరు అడ్వాన్స్ లెవెల్ కి ప్రిపేర్ అవ్వచ్చు. ఎందుకంటే ప్రతి స్టూడెంట్ కి డైరెక్ట్ గా రాసి ఉండదు ఈ క్యాండిడేట్ కి ఐఐటి వస్తుంది, ఈ క్యాండిడేట్ కి ఎన్ఐటి వస్తుంది అని చెప్పి రాసి ఉండదు. మనం చేసే హార్డ్ వర్క్, స్మార్ట్ వర్క్ పైనే డిపెండ్ అయి ఉంటుంది అని చెప్పి అంటున్నారు. సార్ దిస్ ఇస్ ఓకే సార్. ఓకే, లాట్ ఆఫ్ స్టూడెంట్స్ what they are saying actually when we teach for mains level coaching, when we are going for mains level, then they feel sir for second year students January attempt is okay. January attempt, before that we don't have anything, so we can take the risk like after January, from February and the mid of the March we can study for board exams and we can give the board exam. That is okay. And before January also we have plenty of time to prepare for the JEE Mains. But when it comes for the advance, so for advance there is a huge gap from mains to advance, but in between we have IP, means we call here it IP, intermediate public examination. So board exams are there. So in that board exams we have to prepare, otherwise definitely student will fail in that. So how to handle that, Hadis?
Okay, sir, let me take that question, sir. So generally I'll tell you where does the problem lies. Okay, like there are few misconceptions that the student have, and they are the root cause of the problem. So the first misconception is that you really need to work very hard to get a good percentage or good marks in board examination. That is the first misconception. We can get very good marks with with minimal effort in boards. We don't really have to invest a lot of time in boards. It's just a mental thing that we have to take care of. Like, and that what is the reason for this? The reason is that when our parents were giving their board exams, like when they were at this stage, during those times, board exams were a big deal. Okay, like being a graduate was a big thing. All right, so everyone from that generation has put a lot of information, a lot of importance on the board exams, and that has been passed on to us. Okay, but today, in today's world, if you ask me that which college offers you a very good, which good college offers you an admission on the basis of board exams, there's hardly any good college which is doing that. So board exams is an eligibility criteria for us. It is not a selection criteria for, like, it is not an exam which will give us a good career or a good branch in a good college. So we have to actually understand the importance of the board exam, and or the limited importance of the board exam, and cut down our study hours towards the board exam. So that is misconception number one that the student does. The second misconception is that the students generally believe that they have to prepare for JEE Main or they have to prepare for JEE Advanced. Like they consider these two preparation as mutually exclusive, which is not the case. When you prepare for JEE Main exam, you don't really prepare for JEE Advanced, but the converse is not true. When you prepare for JEE Advanced, you automatically prepare for JEE Main also. Rather, you get very good at JEE Mains because now you are aiming for an exam which is more difficult, which actually mandates that you prepare. You have a deep understanding of the subject, and the speed gets derived from that. When in science subject, the speed is not derived by doing calculations faster. Speed comes when we are able to relate the things better. We are able to understand the things, comprehend the things better. So when that comprehension becomes better, when the analytical abilities grow deeper, it is then that the student acquires the speed. So when the students prepare for JEE Advanced, they actually prepare for JEE Mains. So success in JEE Mains is a byproduct there. So these are the two misconceptions. If I can take out time from board preparation, and I can convince myself that preparing for advanced is also preparing for mains. It's like mains is getting prepared automatically. Then the focus is like, then there is clarity. There is absolute clarity. We have removed all kinds of distractions that we have, or all kinds of worrisome thoughts that we get. All right. And we can clearly focus on the JEE Advanced examination. Boards will take care of themselves. We do not need to devote too much time to board. Boards will happen, like they will fall into the right place. Like you will get good marks in boards, no doubt regarding that when you're preparing for advanced. And the mains will also fall in the right place. I think the one way to think would be, if a person gets a good NIT, a good branch, and if a person gets an IIT, all right, how many of the students are actually willing to give up the IIT to get to the NIT? Like if most of the students are anyways going to go to the IIT, then they should actually understand that securing a good seat in NIT was probably not needed if we can be assured that we are getting a good seat at IIT, because we are anyways going to forfeit our seat at NIT. So JEE Main just becomes an eligibility exam for us if we are aiming for IIT. So coming to your question, that the students, how they tackle the board exams, and the JEE Main is there, then the board exam is there, how to tackle that. The idea is that you keep preparing for JEE Advanced examination, and they will be auto tackled. You just have to be very clear in your mind that this will happen as we prepare for JEE Advanced. Then you will not feel the burden, and that will actually be the remedy to the questions or to the problems that the students are facing.
Okay, sir. So, for example, for mains, the students are giving so many exams also. Why? Because, for example, if I give a mock test, and there are so many questions I won't do, and for them I'll get the solutions also. I can understand. Why? Because I prepared at that level, I can understand the answer, and once again I can do that. But for advanced, are these mock tests really play a good role for advanced level? Why? Because after writing the exam, for example, some 10 questions I wrote, 8 questions are pending. I am unable to do. So if I get the solutions, can I do on my own? And is that possible? Like mains we can do, but advanced, is that possible?
Okay. So, sir, you are talking about the mock test of JEE Main. Like, are they going to be helpful in JEE Advanced? Is that the question?
No,
or
sir,
the mock test
for JEE Advanced only. For JEE
the
Advanced,
mock test of JEE Advanced, will they be helpful for JEE Advanced?
No. For example, we are writing mock test for JEE Advanced. So is that really helpful for advanced? Why? Because without any guide, if I write just a mock test, is that helpful?
Sir, I will tell you. Anantha, do you want to take this question?
No. So basically, I think Vikas sir talk about the 𝐸𝐵 program, because I think that 𝐸𝐵 program completes, because no mock test, just writing mock test will never help.
Yes.
I think it is very important to understand the concept. We need to first have a clarity where we stand. That is the first step. That, let's say, I know that I have a potential of 5,000 or 10,000 rank today, or I have a potential of 50,000 rank today. Let's say, right? I can get a 50,000 in JEE Main. Now, what we do is we understand the level of the student, and then we create a plan for the student, that if a student today is at 50,000, if the student is willing to put up hard work, and when I say hard work, which means the student in his or her life has a complete clarity that I want to get into IIT. I don't care about my JEE Main rank. I am okay to get one seat in IIT. If that happens, we create a plan in such a way that our classes and tests are designed in such a way to push that rank. And in the past, as I was saying 2 years back, there was this student who got a 47,000 rank in JEE Main in January. And 47,000 rank, you understand that he or she will never get into IIT Advanced. But finally, that student, because his father was known to me, he called me and he got enrolled in 𝐸𝐴𝐤. And from there, in 𝐸𝐴𝐤 batch, he was able to get to an 8,000 rank. And there are many, many such students. In fact, students who get 1,700, 1,800 rank, they end up in top 50 of IIT Advanced. Last year, there was this student called Akash. In JEE Main, he got 1,728 rank. 1,758, Vikas sir. So whatever, 1,700 plus rank.
17, huh?
From there, we worked on him because we saw that there was a huge potential. And his rank finally in JEE Advanced. In just 4 months' time, from 1,700, he moved to 28. All India rank 28. This is a massive improvement. So mock test alone will not help, but it will only help if you actually have some program, you have a target on your mind, you have a defined content that you have to solve this content, work on your weak area. And from that, for example, if let's say I'm at 40,000 or 50,000, I will plan only 50% of the topic. And then I will go deeper into those topics and understand each and every minute concept about those topics. So that any question comes from that topic, I am able to answer that, because JEE Advanced is a very unpredictable exam, which means there is no pattern, fixed pattern. There is no fixed level of questions which is going to be asked. So that makes it very interesting as well as challenging.
Yes. So then student must be writing a lot of mock tests, but those mock tests where the guide is going to explain those questions whichever he missed, along with some around that question. So whatever is needed, if guide explains it, then it will be very useful for him.
Yes.
And sir, which type of guide the students has to choose actually? Means what the quality should be there for a guide for who can teach for JEE Advanced? How to actually, there are so many teachers. There are so many teachers who can teach very well. Very well. But whether it will be very useful for Advanced. Why? Because Advanced is totally different game.
Yeah. So sir, I'll take this question. So we have to actually understand that what are the qualities that any person should look in a guide. Okay, so when I'm saying guide, like it basically means that I'm striving towards a goal and somebody should help me, should ensure that if I'm putting effort, then those efforts are in the right direction. It's not that I'm putting effort, but I'm not getting the result. So the guide needs to ensure that. So what are the qualities that we should be looking in a guide? A guide can be anyone. It can be your elder brother, sister, any cousin. It could be an institute. It could be a teacher. All right. It could be your parents also. So the guide should have, first of all, he should have traveled that journey that I am looking to travel. For example, if I'm trying to prepare for JEE Advanced, then whoever I choose as a guide, that person must have prepared for IIT JEE himself or herself. Okay, and I'm saying prepared. I'm not saying cracked. Okay, because again, the person may not have cracked, but yet the person may have a lot of learning because of the failure or because of the success that the person would have got in his journey. So that guide should be a person who have already traveled that journey. All right. First thing. Second thing, the guide should have had experience of, of mentoring someone. Like, please don't try someone who has not mentored anyone before. So try someone who has already mentored other people, in that journey in which you are trying to undertake. So the guide should be a person who has himself or herself taken the journey. The guide should have an experience or some kind of success with respect to, guiding the juniors or their apprentices. All right. Third, the guide should be someone who is actually committed to your success. Like one person may be very good in guiding. One person may be very knowledgeable with respect to the preparation aspects, but if that person is not thinking about my betterment, then that person will not be very useful for me. So the third attribute that the guide should have is that the guide should be committed to your success. And I think the most important thing, the guide should know you in and out. Like the guide is committed to you, that's okay, but the guide should also understand your strengths and weaknesses and what kind of inputs and at what times will you need input, at what times you will need the emotional support, and other kind of support that you will need. So if the guide is aware of those things, then the guide will be able to actually deliver the knowledge that the guide has to his apprentice. So I believe these are the 4 qualities that that should be looked into a guide when the student is actually deciding to entrust their dream to a guide. So these are the 4 aspects, I think.
Okay, sir. Now, if a student made a mind that now I have to do the preparation for JEE. Now he made his mind that okay, I will do the preparation for JEE mains and advanced. So can he do? Maybe his acads are very good. 11th and 12th is doing very well. So can he do this? Means
Definitely, sir. Definitely, I'll tell you, sir. Right now, we still have good amount of time with us to transform any average individual into an IITian. We definitely have, and the most important thing is that we've been doing that in 𝐸𝐴 program. I'm not sure how many students are aware of 𝐸𝐴 program or not, but if anyone takes out time, about 15 minutes they spend on Google searching about Vedantu's 𝐸𝐴 program and the kind of feedback students have given about this program, the kind of reviews this program has, then they will actually realize that 𝐸𝐴 program is nothing but it's a machine. It's a juggernaut that anyone who imbibes this program, that person ends up being in an IIT. So definitely, I can assure you that any student who is ready to put in the hard yards, if that person gets associated with 𝐸𝐴, then that person is due for success. That person will definitely get selected into the IITs.
Sir, actually, so many students are there who are actually want to prepare for IIT JEE, like mains and advanced. So, but the colleges, like they are going for offline centers, and the colleges are pressurizing them for the board examinations. Then, if you don't do this, then we are going to fail. So, after failing, what you do? So, you can't write 𝐸MCET exam also. You can't do advanced also. So, first of all, you should focus on IP. Then they are saying, and they are strictly following only IP, means board. At this time also, from now only they have started. So, how to handle that pressure, sir? They have to handle that college also and here our coaching also. What the suggestion you can give?
So I will take this question, sir, because I'm the right example. As a student, it was very difficult for me to even pass the school exam. I was not very good at studies initially, but what happened was my teachers again said the same thing. You can't even pass boards. How can you think about IIT? You should not think about IIT. They used to discourage me a lot. So it was basically 12th, September, October, when I started actually preparing for IIT very seriously, because I took it on myself that I will go it no matter what, because if not me, then who? And that was the question. And that cleared a lot of noise in my life, because I think Vikas sir, puts it very, very clearly that if any student has these kind of noise, for example, if they get perturbed by what teachers are saying, you can't. So what they say, you can't clear even boards. How will you get into IIT? This is the first question. You should just focus on boards. You should not think about IIT. Think about IIT later, right? These are the second question. The third question is, you have not shown any improvement. You are not able to understand the basic concepts. How will you get into that? So these all 3 exams are very different in nature. Board is extremely repetitive. In fact, if you remember and do a rote learning also, and if you remember last 5-year question also, you can get more than 90%. You just have to practice a writing thing in the last. IIT JEE Main requires a lot of problem practice and formula understanding. JEE Main. And JEE Advanced requires only few topics, but what you need is go into depth of those topics. And therefore, all the 3 exams are very different. If I am focused on JEE Advanced, then I need to pick and choose first those topics which are my strength area, and I should master those topics like anything. And I should be ready to even compromise little bit of boards. It doesn't matter if I get 95% or 90% in my boards. Nobody is going to ask in my life that whether you have got a 95% or a 90% or 88% in your board exams or IP exams, to what you are saying. But getting a seat, if let's say you get 88% and you get into IIT, you will be known as an IITian. If you get 90%, if you are not going into IIT, you are not known as IITian. And if that is your dream, then Instead of 97, 98%, I can compromise 7, 8% and I can focus that time because my energy is constant. My time is limited. I have only 24 hours in a day and anyone has only 24 hours in a day. If someone else is preparing for that exam day in and day out, so they are way ahead of me. If I have to beat them now, lot of students are also asking if I start now. If you start now, you have limited time first. You need to understand. In that limited time, you have to beat lot of students who have been preparing for almost 1.5 years or 2 years. So you have to work even harder than them. And if you have to work harder than them, then you have to be ready to compromise. That, okay, I'm ready to compromise my board exams little bit. I'm not saying get 60%. Because if you prepare for board exams even for 10 days, and remember, because when you are preparing for IIT Advanced or JEE Main, then you are already doing basics. Because without basics, you cannot even attempt any question of JEE Main or JEE Advanced. So you are already doing basics. You know the basics, you don't know how to write it for board exams. For that, 10 days is more than enough to practice a lot of questions of which has been asked in the previous exams. So I hope I have cleared, Kiran sir.
Yes. Sir, for example, a student who is taking JEE coaching, means daily is going maybe like online also or offline, taking coaching, and now he wants to start advance. Why? Because now we came to know that advance is very important. We have to start from now itself. Otherwise, it is a game. Other students will run faster. So we are going to fail in that also. So because of that, so how the mains coaching? I will be taking mains coaching, and in parallel time I can't concentrate on advance, but I don't want to miss advance. So is there any way that I can continue with my mains and parallel I can do advanced, not having more stress? Is there any program like that we can do?
So, sir, generally, I'm expecting that if a student is going to a coaching institute and preparing for advance, I believe that the syllabus for any such student will probably finish by end of September or latest by end of October, not more than that. Okay. So, once the syllabus finishes, I recommend to the student that they can switch over to 𝐕𝐞𝐝 completely. All right. So 𝐕𝐞𝐝 this year we have divided into 4 phases, and phase 1 is going on right now. Phase 1 will get over on September 29th, and phase 2 begins from October 7th. All right. So I suggest to the students that from October 7th they can actually become part of 𝐕𝐞𝐝. They can join phase 2. In phase 2, we actually revise the entire grade 11th and the grade 12 topics by way of problem solving. So problem sets are given to the students. The students are expected to attempt those questions, and then they can join the session and ask whatever doubts they have in those questions. The teacher will address those doubts. Okay. Now, if the student is already having their syllabus pending, like the classes are still going on in their institute, that will probably overlap with the 𝐕𝐞𝐝 program for the month of October only. That's a matter of about 20-21 days. So that's a matter of 3 weeks. All right. So during these 3 weeks, the students will have to stretch themselves to actually attempt the homework that we are giving. All right. But once this is over, we recommend to the student that completely switch over to the 𝐕𝐞𝐝 program, and we will actually take care of your JEE Advanced preparation, JEE Mains preparation, and the board preparation will just fall in place in itself. So we will take care of that. So the period of overlap with the ongoing classes and with the 𝐕𝐞𝐝 classes is not too great. It's just 3-week period for which I recommend that the students, they stretch themselves, they actually work hard. And that is what is expected of an IITian. Like if the students are striving to be an IITian, all right, they should start acting like one. IITians are not the kind of people who actually they don't look for the easy way out. They actually take the challenge head on, and they try to overcome the challenge by sheer hard work, all right, by smart work. So that is what the students should strive to do from now onwards. Like they want to be IITian, they should start acting like one. So that's my suggestion to the students.
Sir, any scholarship tests are there, sir, for this 𝐕𝐞𝐝?
Definitely, sir. Definitely. So, 𝐕𝐞𝐝 program can be joined by anyone by directly clicking on the link, and they can directly join. That is one option. But if the student they want a bit more scholarship as compared to the default scholarship that we are giving to any student, then we have planned 3 tests in the month of September. September 22nd, that's the Sunday, the upcoming Sunday. Then September 29th, the next Sunday, and October 2. So these are the 3 dates on which we are going to conduct the test. Student can choose to write any 1 test or 2 tests or 3 tests. We will consider the best performance of the student to provide scholarship to the student. And based on these tests, the students can get the scholarship. If the test doesn't go well, there is always a default scholarship of 25%. The student can definitely get that and join the program.
So student can get minimum 25% scholarship.
That is minimum scholarship that the students are getting.
Okay, super, sir. Sir, AP sir, already you are an IIT, and so you also had so many problems while you are a student. So how you handle that, sir? Why? Because nowadays lot of students are having a number of problems. Why? Because even at that time there is no certain good coaching centers also. Even then also you had some problems, but now there are so many coaching centers, and online also we are giving service. So at this time also students are facing so many problems. So problems might be different, but they are still having problems. So how to handle them?
So let me be a little explicit here. There are a lot of kind of problems. So problem is they are growing up. This is the age where a lot of distraction happens. At my time, I was very fortunate that there was no mobile phone. Otherwise, I would have never gone into IIT. I know that because there is a lot of distraction. Everything is on mobile phone, and there is a lot of distraction. We are growing up. There are hormonal changes which is in our body, which is happening, and therefore, thought-wise distraction, peer pressure distraction, marks distraction. I'm not getting marks, I get distracted. So lot of things is sometimes, and the most challenging thing is with many students, they work very hard and they don't get marks, and then they start getting distracted, right? So there are different kind of students. The only thing that I used to do, I wrote in a big letter that I want to get this rank in IIT. I want to get a IIT seat. I just wrote that. And every time I used to get distracted, I used to see that, whatever I have written. As lame as that, but it worked for me. So everyone should have their own, I would say, something which actually pushes them. Because if you don't have any target, if you don't know how to come out of distraction, because nobody can take you out of the distraction. We teachers, we can show them path. We can motivate them, we can guide them. But these are all external motivation, which remains with a student only for 5 days, 7 days, maximum 10 days. But after that, again, they will behave in the same way. So to come out of that, they need to strongly tell themselves that why they want to get into IIT. And trust me, kids, IIT is not a place where you only study. It is the best place to enjoy your life. Sometimes I always used to tell me that this is the place which will make me free from all the foundations that I have. I have my parents' foundation, who tries to actually always push me. You have to do this, you have to do that. They were always, we know, till date also parents are involved in our lives, right? So it was freedom from the parents, because once you get into IIT, the decisions is yours. It is the freedom from the external world, because you don't have to think about settlement into life, because you will always get a good job, good salaries and everything, right? So, and IIT gives you a platform where you can choose. If you are very good at sports, you love sports, there are a lot of good facilities in IITs which provides you again a platform. There is a drama thing, there is a AI thing, there is a robotics thing. So whatever you think, IIT or good colleges provides you that. So therefore, if you just get yourself excited by that thought, okay, in life, only 6 months if I have to work hard, because now only 6 months are remaining, right? For IIT, 6-7 months. So if you actually put heart and soul for the next 6 months and I get an IIT seat, what is better than that in my life? I think I don't require anything else. So that is what I should always tell as a student. And I used to tell myself, and to do that, you have to become crazy, students. You have to become crazy. And when I say crazy, I was one student whom everyone followed me, because I was like, you call Gunda types, right? So little bit like that. I was notorious. I was that kind of a student in my school. But when I thought that I will get into IIT, the same friends who used to look up to me, they started telling me, what happened to you? Yeah, man, come on, why are you doing like that? Why are you not coming for a movie? Why are you not coming for this? And they actually thought that I have become crazy. And you have to become crazy if you want to get into some crazy college.
So what was your motivation, sir? Why you changed it suddenly?
It's a very good question. So I will tell you, it's a very, I've never told this story on YouTube or these kind of platform. There were few students in my class who were preparing for IIT. So as students, we know, in India, we give a lot of gyan, we give a lot of knowledge to everyone. So I just went to they were not friends, they were just my classmates, right? And I was a hostler, they was a day scholar. So I went to them and I just told them, hey, you know what, you have solved this book. And they looked up to me like, who is telling me? Look, man, he cannot pass his class and he's telling me about IIT. And I really got angry. I really got angry at that time. It was so and so that I said that if these guys can get into IIT, I am going into IIT. And it was such a rage inside me. I channelized that rage. A lot of students, they might feel rage. But what you need to do is you have to channelize your energy. There were a lot of stories after that also, behind the scenes, I can tell you. But that was the story. And actually, a lot of things happened. So today only I got one senior call from senior. He went to IIT Delhi. Then he went to Wharton College, which is one of the best colleges for MBA in the world. So he called me today. He's the one who inspired me. Actually, he asked me one question when I went to him, because he was the only one I knew who went to IIT. And I went to him, Bhaiya, I want to qualify IIT. And he also started laughing because he knew me. And then, he sent me back to my hostel and he said, okay, I will not, guide you today. Come back after 1 week. And this is the trick, kids, because most of the time when you ask doubts from the teacher and teacher say, come back again, you never go back. Right?
Yes.
And I went back after 1 week because my rage did not go down. I just said that I want to get into IIT. And then he asked me one thing, do you know how much percentage is required to get into IIT? And just like any unknown guy, I told him 95%. And he started laughing. So he said, first thing is about awareness about that exam. You don't require that much. You require only 33% to get an IIT seat. Can you do that? Then I started laughing. Okay, 33% I get into boards. I will get into that. I was so naive. And then he told me that only 2,000 students, at our time, 2,000 students used to qualify. He told me that only 2,000 qualified. Then again, I became sad. And this happened. And then he guided me that it requires a lot of strategy to qualify this. You have to pick a subject. You have to pick certain topics and then focus on that. Focus on right quality questions. You don't have to do 100 questions. You only have to practice 10 very good questions if you want to get into IIT. And with all these strategies, I think we have put all these strategies into a 𝐸𝐵 program. And anyone who joins, so I will tell you, Kiran sir, what has happened is, because I was that kind of student, I was able to create a program which is almost 100% predictable for a student. In 𝐸𝐵 program, every second students get into IIT. Every second student. So last year we had 3,400 students, 1,800 students qualified into IIT. Last year, it was 3,000 and 1,500 qualified. So typically every time in 23, 22, I'm just talking about that. So every time, almost 55, 57, 58% students, they qualify if they're a part of this program. So I hope students enjoyed the story.
We also enjoyed a lot, sir. Why? Because first time also we are hearing this. Super, sir. So students, ఏకలవ్య ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎవరైతే జాయిన్ అవుదామని అనుకుంటున్నారో, ఏదైతే చాలా చక్కటి ప్రోగ్రామ్, ఎందుకంటే అడ్వాన్స్ లెవెల్ ఎవరైతే ప్రిపేర్ అవుదాం అనుకుంటున్నారో, నాకు తెలిసి సిటీస్ కి చాలా దూరంగా ఉన్న పిల్లలు ఉండొచ్చు, మేబీ పెద్ద పెద్ద కాలేజెస్ కానీ టౌన్స్ కానీ దూరంగా ఉన్న పిల్లలు ఉండొచ్చు. సో అడ్వాన్స్ ప్రిపేర్ కావాలంటే మంచి గైడ్ ఉండాలి, మనకు ఒక మంచి టీచర్ ఉండాలి. అలా అయితేనే అడ్వాన్స్ కి కరెక్ట్ గా మనని గైడ్ చేయగలుగుతారు, మంచి మంచి క్వశ్చన్స్ ని విత్ ట్రిక్స్ తోటి మనకి ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయగలుగుతారు. అలాంటి టీచర్స్ ని మనం దగ్గర ఉండి చేయించుకోవాలని అంటే అంత ఈజీగా దొరకదు. సో మేబీ ఒక టీచరు అందరికి టీచ్ చేయడం చాలా కష్టం అవుద్ది, కొంత గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ స్టూడెంట్స్ మాత్రం టీచ్ చేయడం కుదురుతుంది. బట్ ఆన్లైన్ లో ఏంటంటే ఒకే టీచరు అంత క్వాలిటీ టీచింగ్ ఇచ్చే ఒక టీచరు ఎంతో మంది స్టూడెంట్స్కి, ఎంతో దూరంలో ఉన్న స్టూడెంట్స్కి ప్రతి ఒక్కరు కూడా యూజ్ అవుతారు. సో అలాంటి మంచి ప్రోగ్రామే, ఆన్లైన్లో ప్రోగ్రామే మనకి ఏకలవ్య ప్రోగ్రాము. సో ఇందులో ఏంటంటే ఒక వెల్ క్వాలిఫైడ్ టీచర్స్ ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో నంబర్ ఆఫ్ ఇయర్స్ నుంచి, దాదాపు ఒక 12-13 ఇయర్స్ నుంచి ఎవరికైతే ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఉందో, మినిమం ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్, ఆ టీచర్స్ అందరూ కూడా ఇందులో పార్ట్ గా ఉన్నారు. సో వాళ్ళంతా కూడా ఇందులో టీచ్ చేయబోతున్నారు. సో మీకు అడ్వాన్స్ లెవెల్లో మంచి మంచి క్వశ్చన్స్ ని ఎలా సాల్వ్ చేయాలి, ట్రిక్స్ ఎట్లా యూజ్ చేయాలి, సో ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనకి స్టార్టింగ్ నుంచి కూడా నేర్పబోతున్నారు. కాబట్టి ఎవరైతే జాయిన్ అవుదాం అనుకుంటున్నారో మీకు ప్రజెంట్ అయితే 25% అయితే డిస్కౌంట్ అయితే దాంట్లో ఉంది. దాని లింక్ కింద డైరెక్ట్ గా లింక్ డిస్క్రిప్షన్ లో పెట్టడం అయితే జరిగింది. వెంటనే వెళ్ళి జాయిన్ అవ్వండి. ఆలోచించడానికి అయితే ఏం లేదు, ఎందుకంటే అడ్వాన్స్ కావాలి, నేను ఐఐటిలో జాయిన్ కావాలి అని నువ్వు అనుకుంటున్నావంటే చాలా మంది చెప్తున్నారు. ఇప్పుడు ఏపీ సార్ కూడా చెప్పారు, సార్ కట ఇంతకుముందు స్కూల్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు కొంతమంది స్టూడెంట్స్ నువ్వు అవుతావా, నువ్వు వచ్చి మాకు చెప్తున్నావు, నువ్వు ఐఐటి అని అవుతావా అని చెప్పి, అంటే ఒక్క మైండ్ దాన్ని ఒక్కదాన్ని మైండ్ లో తీసుకొని సార్ ఈ రోజు మన ముందరికి వచ్చారు, ఒక ఐఐటిఎన్ లాగా మన ముందరికి వచ్చారు. సో మనం ఈ కాంపిటేటివ్ వరల్డ్ లో ఒకవేళ మనం డెఫినెట్ గా సక్సెస్ అవ్వాలి అని అంటే మనం స్ట్రాంగ్ గా డిటర్మైండ్ ఉండాలి. కంపల్సరీగా మైండ్ లో ఏదైతే నువ్వు అనుకుంటున్నావు అది సాధించడానికి ఏవేవైతే అవసరం లేదో ఆ ఎక్స్ట్రా యాక్సెసరీస్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో అవన్నీ పక్కన పెట్టేసి కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ తోటి వర్క్ చేయండి. సో వర్క్ చేద్దామని అనుకుంటే మీకు హెల్ప్ చేయడానికి మాత్రం మన ఏకలవ్య టీచర్స్ మాత్రం మీతోటైతే తోడుగా అయితే ఉన్నారు. సో లింక్ అయితే కింద డిస్క్రిప్షన్ లో ఉంది, వెంటనే వెళ్ళి జాయిన్ అవ్వండి. ఆల్ ద వెరీ బెస్ట్ గైస్, ఆల్ ద వెరీ బెస్ట్. So thank you AP sir and Vikas sir, thanks for joining us sir and giving valuable information and the success story behind you sir, AP sir. So thanks for revealing that story first time in our channel sir. Thank you very much.
Most
Thank you, sir.
and thank you for getting us here. I think all students who are listening to this, I would say this is the first time when we have made Eklavya available to all the students, because we believe in last so many years we have got so many requests from students that please sir, even if it is paid, because we have made it paid so that only few students apply for it. Because till last year everything was free. The entire Eklavya program was free, and students used there were almost like 10,000 20,000 application, and we used to actually, it was very difficult for us to sort it out, and therefore this year we made it free so that any aspiring student who really, because if you pay fee you are aspiring, because you can't, generally you will not pay fee otherwise just to get into IIT or something like that. So therefore anyone who is aspiring, who really want to put up hard work, very strong hard work or a lot of time into preparing for IIT, and their dream is to get into IIT, I think they should join Eklavya program. And if anyone believes that they are very good, their preparation is good, they should give the scholarship test, because that scholarship test will enable them to get Eklavya as at a very low cost as well.
Yes.
So it is for both of the students. Anyone who is aspiring for IIT, they can join. Anyone who is believing they want to improve their rank, they should join. So it is for everyone this year.
Yes. Because
thank you sir. And we'll definitely come more often.
Yes sir, thank you sir, thank you. Because sir, any features are there, extra features can you?
Sure, sir. So I would like to tell the students that whoever is planning to actually appear for the entrance exam, they should join the Eklavya Telegram channel, the link of which should be available below the description, in the description of this session. So there is a channel, your Telegram channel, the students can join. I am posting all the details regarding the entrance exam and every other detail regarding the process of joining Eklavya and what we are doing in Eklavya in that channel. So if the students have joined that, then they will always be aware of what is going on in Eklavya. That is one thing. Second thing is that over the years we are currently in a position where I can confidently say that we have perfected the art to make a student into an IITian, and therefore we have actually made this program paid this year, because we are very sure that whoever joins this program, and if the person follows this program through and through, then that person will definitely end up in an IIT. So that's my parting words to the student, that research about this program, know about this program, and then decide what you want to do with your career. So that's my parting words for the students.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. సో స్టూడెంట్స్, మీకు స్కాలర్షిప్ టెస్ట్ కి సంబంధించిన లింక్ కూడా కింద డిస్క్రిప్షన్ లో ఉంది. అలానే టెలిగ్రామ్ ఛానల్ లింక్ కూడా ఉంది. ఎందుకంటే మన ఏకలవ్య ప్రోగ్రామ్ సంబంధించి ఎటువంటి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అయినా సరే, ప్రతి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ కూడా టెలిగ్రామ్ ఛానల్లోకి మీకు పంపిస్తారు. దాంట్లో ఫ్రీనే, అది మీరు జాయిన్ అవ్వచ్చు. అండ్ ఒకవేళ స్కాలర్షిప్ టెస్ట్ రాద్దామని అనుకుంటే మాత్రం ఆ లింక్ కూడా సెకండ్ లింక్ లో ఇవ్వడం జరిగింది. దానిపై క్లిక్ చేసి మీరు ఎగ్జామ్ రాసి స్కాలర్షిప్ ఒకవేళ వస్తే స్కాలర్షిప్ ద్వారా మీరు జాయిన్ అవ్వచ్చు. లేదు అని అనుకుంటే డైరెక్ట్ గా ఫస్ట్ లింక్ ఉంది. సో ఆ ఫస్ట్ లింక్ ఏంటంటే ప్రజెంట్ దానికి ఎవరైతే జాయిన్ అవుతారో 25% అయితే దాంట్లో ఆటోమేటిక్ అయితే స్కాలర్షిప్ అయితే ఇవ్వడం జరుగుతుంది. సో ఆల్ ద వెరీ బెస్ట్ గైస్. సో మీరందరూ కూడా ఈ ఆపర్చునిటీని యూటిలైజ్ చేసుకుంటారని చెప్పి భావిస్తున్నాను. ఎందుకంటే ఇంత టాప్ ఫ్యాకల్టీస్ అందరూ కూడాను మీకు మీ ఇంటి దగ్గర మీ ఇంట్లో కూర్చొని హ్యాపీగా వాళ్ళ దగ్గర నుంచి మన ఎడ్యుకేషన్ పొందడం అనేది ఇది చాలా అరుదైన అవకాశం. ఇంతకుముందు ఏకలవ్య మనకి 99%, 99.9% ఈ రేంజ్ లో వచ్చిన స్టూడెంట్స్ కి మాత్రమే కోచింగ్ ఇస్తా ఉండేది. బట్ ఇప్పుడు దాన్ని అందరికి కూడా అంటే ఎలిజిబుల్ అయిన ప్రతి ఒక్కరు కూడా ఈ ఏకలవ్య అనేది అందాలన్న ఉద్దేశంతో ఈ సంవత్సరం ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి ఎవరైతే అసలు నేను ఐఐటి అడ్వాన్స్ రాద్దామని అనుకుంటున్నాను, సాధిద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నాను ఐఐటిని అనుకున్న ప్రతి పిల్లలు కూడా దీన్ని అందుబాటులో ఉంచాలన్న ఉద్దేశంతో దీన్ని మన ముందరకైతే తీసుకురావడం జరిగింది. కాబట్టి ఈ అవకాశాన్ని యూజ్ చేసుకుంటారని మనస్ఫూర్తి కోరుకుంటున్నాను. సో థ్యాంక్ యూ గైస్, థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. Thank you, AP sir. Thank you, Vikas sir.
Thank you, sir,
for getting us here.
Yes, sir.